And let the arms be heavy and the head be heavy. Just letting the fingertip touch the mat. Inhale here, bottom. Exhale, let's start to round it up. So as the belly button presses into the spine and the abs scoop up, you let the spine start to reach back. One vertebra at a time. And the head floats up. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale, bring it into the chest again. Softness in the knees. And finding space in the vertebra. Nice, easy stretch. Stay down at the bottom. Bend the knees even more. Palms on the mat. Let the head be heavy. Inhale. Exhale. Start to straighten the legs. And bend. And straighten. And bend. And straighten. And this time we bend. And let's roll it up again. The pelvic floor engages. Feel those glutes squeeze to help you to roll up. Abs are helping you to roll up. And the head floats up. Let's do a lateral stretch. I'm going to come wider. We'll bring one arm up, the other hold the wrist. And we're going straight over to the side as if we're sliding down a wall that's right behind us. Try not to rotate those shoulders forward. Feel that stretch all through the side. Bring it back up. Let's go the other way. Reach out. One more. I like to pull on that wrist so it really lifts me out of my waist. Bring it back up. A little pull up. And back up. We'll bring the arms down. And let's come to the front of the mat. And we will get started. I think I'm just going to make the music just a touch softer. Oh, let me see here just in case now it's too soft. All right. So we will come to the front of the mat. Forearms stacked. I'm going to place the other foot. Whatever foot you were going to place behind the other, use the opposite one. Why not, right? So one foot behind the other. Reach up through the crown of the head. And as we reach up to the ceiling with the head, we're going to lower ourselves down without using our hands. And with control, we sit on the mat. Yes. We're going to come all the way down. We'll do some crunches to warm up. All right, so knees are bent, feet are flat, and feet are parallel to each other and in line with the sit bones, but not so close to the sit bones. So keep them fairly far away, or somewhat far away. And if your feet aren't flat, that's okay, as long as your heels are pressing down, because we need to have the grip with the heels. Bring the arms to the ceiling, shoulders are down into the mat. Let's inhale, bring the arms back. And on the exhale, the arms come up, the chin to the chest. The arms are going to come to hip level. We're going to look right at the wall in front of us and press belly button into spine. Reach the fingertips long. And now think about the heels coming. They're not going to really move, but think about them coming toward the hips. So if you're trying to pull them in. And then inhale and bring everything back. So that will be our move for 3 more. Exhale up. So just the tips of the shoulder blades barely lift off the mat. Inhale back. Exhale up. Reach the fingertips. And each time you reach, chin to chest, round that upper body. We're starting to articulate the spine, the upper spine. Inhale back. Exhale up, chin to chest. We're rounding into ourselves, Just like with the standing roll down. Bring the arms down by your sides. Right leg comes to tabletop or left to tabletop. We're going to do that again. Make sure knees are right over hips, arms to ceiling. Point the toes. Inhale, arms back, open the chest. Exhale, the arms come up. Reach down to hip level. Reach those fingertips for the wall in front. Press belly button down. Low back is into the mat. Inhale back. Lots of things to think about. Exhale, round it up. And inhale back. Exhale up. And last one like this, we'll hold the next one up. Hold it here, place the hands behind the head. And let that neck relax, head is resting in the hands. The abs are working here, you're still looking through your thighs. We're gonna tap the right toe down, bring it back up, and then it's going out to the side, not very far, but we're opening the hip, and we close, that's the move. We tap the right, we lift, we open, and close. We tap, and lift, and open, and close. Tap, and lift. A lot of things going on here. Abs are working, stabilization of the pelvis, and we're opening the hip. Last one there. Let's do the other leg. We tap down, exhale, and open, and close, and tap, and lift, open, close, tap, exhale, open. Let's do two more on the side. Tap, lift, open. Last one. Tap, lift, open, close. Bring these into chest. Bring the head down. Take a short break with a breath. We're going to do just a few more toe taps together. Both toes tap. Actually, let's not. I think I'm going to do alternating where they meet in the middle, midstream. So place the fingertips behind the head and shoulders lift again, and let the head rest in the hands. So relax the neck, and then bring the legs to tabletop, knees right over hips. So let's tap right down, and as the right comes up, the left taps down. So they meet midstream, right and left, and right and left. And right, press the belly button down, low back presses into the mat, and left, and right, and left, and right, and left, and 5, and 6, and 7, 8, hold it in tabletop, reach the arms up. Let's do hundreds from tabletop. Let's pump the arms. Inhale, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, 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 and last one, and exhale, and bring those knees in. Okay, we're warmed up. Rock the knees. Anyone else warmed up? Yeah, that one always does it. Give them a stir. Both directions. Yes. All right, what else do I got? Okay, so bring the hands behind the thighs. Rock it up to sitting. We're going to keep working on our C curve here. Well, take a layer off. We're going to do some half roll downs into a roll. God bless. Okay, so heels are digging into the mat. You don't have to have feet flat if you don't want. And again, pretty far away from the hips, but you can keep the knees bent as far as you like. As long as you can dig those heels in, that's what we're looking for here. We're going to sit up tall on the sit bones. Right, so by bending the knees, this allows us to really press into the low back and And not what we call, we're not going to sink into the pelvis. We don't want to sink into the pelvis. We want to sit up tall, reach up through the crown of the head. Okay. We inhale to begin. On the exhale, now we tuck the tail, and we're going to press the ribs back. Okay, these guys back here in the back, those ribs are pressing and leading us down. All right, only come about halfway down where the sacrum is flat on the mat. Hold it here. Abs are in. Inhale. Exhale. Round it forward. Now the crown of the head is aiming for the knees. Okay, we're not going up. We're going towards the knees. And once we get there, we're going to stack the spine and sit up tall. So we're going to go a little lower this next time. Inhale to start. Exhale, we start with tucking the tail. Now press those back ribs out. Yes! Gorgeous work. Keep going. This time we're going down to the low back. And the low back is on the mat. About 3/4 of the way down. Stop. Inhale. Exhale. The crown of the head goes towards the knees as we come up. There's a lot of work here. Keep rounding forward. We're articulating the spine. And the head comes down toward the knees. We're going to restack the spine, sit up tall. Oh, yes. Let's do one more like that. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the tail. One vertebra at a time. So first the sacrum is on the mat. And then the low back comes down. We hold it here. Take a breath. Let's stay here. Now let's go all the way down. Let's go all the way down. So now the mid-back, the upper back, the shoulders, the neck, the head. And let's bring the arms to the ceiling. And I am going to bring my heels in just a little bit more. So we're going to do roll up. So wherever it's comfortable for you, either knees bent or straight. If your legs are straight and your feet are flexed, which I usually like to do, make sure you have a softness in your knees, because that way you can still dig your heels in to the mat. Important. Okay, here we go. Inhale, arms go back, roll open the chest. On the exhale, arms to ceiling, chin to chest. We're rolling forward. Press those heels into the mat and keep aiming crown ahead for knees. Round forward, all the way forward. Now the shoulders are over the hips. That's what we want. Stack the spine, sit up tall. Oh, yes. Let's do another just like that. Inhale, exhale. We round all the way down. Again, chin to chest, pressing those ribs back. Always. Inhale, the arms go back. Exhale, arms to ceiling, chin to chest. And round up. Again, not up, but forward and toward the knees. This time, bring your forehead all the way to the knees. Really find that C. And then stack the spine, sit up. I'm going to change it just a little. It's going to get a little more challenging now. Feel free to come with or not, okay? Because this is great the way we are. Or we can start to move it into the neck hold. Inhale. Exhale. First we tuck the tail, then press the ribs back. Find the C curve. Now, sacrum on the mat. Okay, stop. Place the hands behind the head. See if you can go the rest of the way with hands behind the head. Do not crash. One vertebra at a time. Until the head is all the way down. Bring the arms to the ceiling. We're going to do a reverse of that. Inhale, the arms go back. Exhale, arms to ceiling, chin to chest. We start to round up. Now, when you get to just pat that sticky point where you know you can make it the rest of the way, place the hands behind the head and reach the crown of the head for the knees. Keep reaching forward, all the way down until your forehead hits your knees or comes close. And then sit up tall. Inhale. Hands are still behind the head. This time, abs are in, sitting up tall. We're going to lean back with a straight back. Lean back 2 or 3 inches with a straight back first. Hold it here. And just when you can't go anymore, tuck the tail. Start to round. Take those hands away from the back of the head. Reach them forward. Round all the way down. The inhale, arms go back. Last time here. Exhale, arms to ceiling, chin to chest. Start to round forward. When you just get past the sticky point, hands behind. This is very challenging. The head, and keep rounding forward. And the head all the way to the knees. And stay here, and now we're going to round down. I'm not going to stack the spine. Round all the way back down. Press the ribs back. Ribs are pressing back. Yes, pressing back. More, Liz. Liz, yes, there you go. Chin to chest. All the way down and stay down at the bottom. This time bring the arms long on your sides and legs are straight. Nice work. So that is how we get our spine really warmed up and flexible. And keep it young and active, Larry. Larry has a 50-year-old spine, you guys. I love that. You're only as young as your spine is healthy. All right, enough of that. Okay, I'm gonna flex the foot of my left leg. I'm gonna point the toe of my right, and I'm gonna scissor it up to the ceiling. We're gonna do single leg circles. So the sacrum is long. The sacrum is reaching for the wall in front, meaning we don't tuck the tail. We're gonna cross the leg over the midline. Now, don't let that hip leave. All right, so you're fighting to keep that hip pressing down into the mat as you cross the leg over the midline. You will get a stretch through that IT band. And then when you can't go anymore, the leg circles down, around, and back up. We're going to do 3 more. Cross over as far as you can go, and then down, around, and up. Cross, down. Keep pressing into that supporting leg. That is going to keep your pelvis nice and stable. Around. Hold it here. Let's go the other way. Keep that toe pointed. We go out. We go down. Cross. Over. And up. Out. Down. Cross. Over. 2 more. Out. Reaching that toe up to the ceiling. Everything is reaching long. Now flex the foot, point the toe, bend the knee. Let's hug it in. Maybe give it a little stir. Right in the hip socket. And then let it come long on the mat. Flex the foot, point the left toe, ankle, and scissor it up to the ceiling. Now I'm pressing into my right leg as my supporting leg. Cross over the midline. Again, press that left hip down. Feel that stretch through the IT band, and then circle and up. 3 more. Cross, down, around. 2 more. Cross, down, around. Keeping the pelvis quiet. Make sure you breathe. Let's go the other way. We go out, down, and cross. This is a wonderful lubrication for the hip joint. And out, down, and cross. Last one. Out, down, and cross. Flex the foot, point, bend the knee, hug it into the chest, give it a little stir, and breathe. Let's bring both knees into the chest. We're going to do our standard series 5. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, chin to chest, lift the torso. Look through your thighs to the wall in front of you. We're going to do single leg stretch. We're going to stretch the left leg out to 45, left hand on inside of knee, right hand on ankle, and then pull that knee in close to the chest. Reach the straight leg long. Sacrum is reaching also for the wall in front of you. All right, so we're stretching the leg, both legs, both the one that's pulled in and the one that's out, and we switch. Pull that knee in, reach the other one out, and switch. Pull, and switch, and switch, and switch, and switch. Make sure you breathe. And 5, 6, 7. Pull this one, 8. Bring the knee in. We've got double leg stretch. Now keep that chin tucked And maybe lift just a touch higher so that your neck is not involved. Inhale, reach everything up and out. Exhale in. Inhale, reach. Exhale in. Inhale, reach. Inhale, reach. And inhale, reach. Hold it here. We'll bring the head down, rock from side to side the head. We've got scissors next for our hamstring stretch. Inhale. And exhale, chin to chest. We lift again, legs to ceiling, hands behind calves. If you can keep the legs straight, do keep them straight. If you can't, slight bend is fine. We pulse, and switch. Keep reaching the nose for the knee. So you're trying to lift the torso even higher as you gently pull that leg toward the nose. And breathe. Beautiful, dynamic hamstring stretch. Maybe flex the feet if you want to try that. A little bit different stretch. I mean, it's still a hamstring stretch. It just gets a little more intense. A little bit flexed foot. And then bring the knees in, bring the head down, and rock the head again. And we're going to do lower and lift 2 ways. We'll place the fingertips behind the head. Inhale. Exhale. We lift. Lifting again. Through the thighs. Let the head rest in the hands and the legs come to the ceiling. All right, we're going to, let's lower for 3 and lift for 1. Now the low back should be on the mat with the head and shoulders lifted. Make sure it stays on the mat. So don't go any lower than that. It starts to lift. Then you draw more enough. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 2 more. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. And last one. 3, 2, 1. Now we go down for 1 and up for 3. A little more challenging. We go down. Exhale. 3, 2, and 1. Go down. Exhale. 3, and 2, and 1. 2 more. We go down. Exhale. 3, 2, and 1. We go down. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Yay. Bend the knees. Bring the head down just briefly. Inhale. Exhale. Head and shoulders lift again. We've got crisscross. Left leg extends. Right knee is in. Now this time, left elbow to the ceiling, not to the opposite knee, to the ceiling. And we look down at the bottom elbow. This is how we want to stay for each time we switch. Here we go. We switch, we reach the elbow, we look down. And switch. And switch. 1 and switch. We have 2 and switch. We have 3 and 4. Reach the elbow up and 5. Don't forget to reach it for the ceiling. 7. We're going for 10. We have 1 more after this. Last one here. And up, bring it in. Yes. Rock. You'll get the most out of that exercise by thinking about that elbow to the ceiling, top elbow, and looking down at your bottom elbow. It really engages your obliques. Hands behind the thighs, rock it up to sitting. And we are going to do saw. We're going to bring the feet about mat width. This is a nice rotational stretch. Now, again, we don't want to collapse through the pelvis here. So sometimes with the tight hamstrings, this is what happens. We end up here. We don't want that. We want to be sitting up tall, meaning you might need to bend the knees a little, or have something I can sit on. That brings my hips a little higher, and then I can straighten. It's important that the spine is nice and straight. I'm reaching up through the crown of the head. Yes, indeed. Okay. So bring my arms out so that you're hugging a tree. Let's do that so you can see your fingers. Abs are in. We're gonna rotate only from the waist, not in the hips. So it's a very small rotation on the waist. Then we're gonna bring the pinky finger to the pinky toe as we round, not reach, but round forward. C curve. Watch for a second. Sorry, I should have showed you first. All right, so we're here, right? Watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna curl myself and I'm gonna press those ribs back again like we did with all those roll downs. When I get here, I'm just gonna pulse. So I'm keeping my shoulders over my hips. I'm not gonna hinge. Hinging is okay. We're just not working on hinging today. Okay, so we're just doing it differently today. It's not, you can practice at home doing it both ways. But for today, we're really working on that C. All right, let's start over, do over. Here we go, inhale. Exhale, we rotate. We reach pinky finger to pinky toe, and now we press back through those ribs and round the chin to the chest, and then just pulse 3 times. 3, 2, 1. We stack the spine. We come up still in rotation, and then back. Now, the whole time, we have equal weight on both sit bones. Okay, so try not to shift the weight. We rotate. I'm going to do pinky finger to pinky toe, and I'm going to press through back, ribs, and round down. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to stack the spine, come up in rotation. And back. Let's try it again. We rotate, we reach, and then we round. For 3, 2, and 1. And back. Last time. We rotate and round. Press those ribs back. 3, 2, 1. Stack. Forward. Bring those down. Give them a shake. Nice work. Okay. This next one is open leg rock or prep. I'm going to show you first. They laughed at me last night in class. I was like, ha, you think I'm going to do that? So there are various ways you can do this, but here's the full expression of it. I'm going to point my toes. I'm a little bit wider than about shoulder width. I'm going to reach out. I'm starting sitting up tall. I'm going to round the spine as if I'm starting to roll back like what we already did, and I'm going to lift the legs up. Now, if that is too much, as you come down, you can do them one at a time with bent, and hands can go here. But one way or another, legs come up, and hands can either be here or here. Okay, and then we'll take it from there. All right. So that is the full expression: is to roll back and engage those the transverse abdominis and hold on. Okay, so if you want to give it a try or not. So point the toes, reach the arms out. We start sitting up tall. Inhale, exhale. Start to round the spine. Press those ribs back. And then when you're ready, lift them right up and grab them. Now bend the knees and bring both toes down to the mat. So we're sitting on the sit bones. Reach the right one out, flex, point, and lower. Lift the left one, flex, point. I'm still reaching out through the crown of my head too. And up, flex, point, and down, and lift, and flex, and point, and down. Bring the knees together. Bring the legs to tabletop. Reach the arms out, and round through the pelvis. Tuck the tail just a little bit. Now straighten the legs if you can, if you want, and reach the arms up so they're parallel. Now the last bit is the arms come up to the ears, and you reach out of the waist, and you smile. You smile, you smile, and then you bring the legs down, and let's roll it all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. We're going to do tick-tock, corkscrew. Yes. Bend the knees. Feet are flat. Arms are long on the sides. Tick-tock for the obliques. We're going to bring the legs to the ceiling. Glue the feet together. Now, if you need a little bit more leverage, the hands can come out to wider than the mat or even up to shoulder width. So play around with this to see where you like your hands to be. We're going to tilt the legs glued together all the way to the right, not all the way, probably about halfway down to the right. And the left hip is going to leave the mat, but don't let the left shoulder leave the mat. So that's your stopping point. When your left shoulder wants to leave the mat, you stop there, you press back up to the ceiling. We go the other way. We tilt, shoulder stays down. Challenge yourself. And then have to do all the work to get you back up. Let's go again to the right. Tilt. And exhale, press it up. And last time left. Beautiful. And come up. Now we're going to add on to that for the corkscrew. We tilt to the right. Stay here. We're going to draw a semicircle. So the legs lower. And they come all the way around to the left. Now the right hip is lifted with the right shoulders down, and then we come back up to the ceiling. Let's go the other way. We tilt, and we draw a semicircle. And come back up. Let's do one more each side. Tilt. And it can be a small semicircle. You don't have to go very low or very far. You play with it to keep the control of the pelvis. Last, and bring it up to ceiling, bend the knees, bring them in, and rock. Rock in both directions. And then we'll place the hands under the thighs. Let's turn over onto our bellies and do some back work. Back strengthening work. So we'll start with the swan. We'll bring the swan into the swan dive, and then we'll do a couple of upper body strengthening exercises before we leave back body. So again, you can decide where you want your hands to be for this press up. The place we want to end up is, if you like, if it feels good, is straight arms and stretching through the front of the hips, and the shoulders stay down. So if the hands are too close, what tends to happen is we bring the shoulders up around the ears, and that doesn't feel so good. So we move them out, we push the mat forward, and we bring the shoulders down. Okay. So I like my hands outside the mat and forward of my ears. The legs can be wider than hips. Press tops of the feet down. And we'll inhale, and we'll push the mat. So if we're trying to move it forward, we press up. This should feel really nice in the front of the hips and not hurt your low back. If you're feeling it in your low back, just come down a little lower or change your hand position. Inhale and exhale. Let's pull the mat toward us. Lengthen through the spine as we come back down. Let's do that again. Inhale, press up. See if you can lift the kneecaps off the mat if you haven't already lifted off the mat. It gives you just a little more of a stretch in the front of the hips. Inhale, exhale, we'll come back down. I'm going to change it a little bit this time. So we're going to press up again, same press up, do the swan. But when we lower back down, we're going to lift the legs. So the legs are going to stay straight, and the glutes are going to float the legs onto the mat. So the chest, the torso lowers, the legs lift, like a little rock. And then the legs come down, and the torso goes up. And we try that again. We lower the torso, we lift the legs. We lower the legs. Torso. Okay, now comes the fun part of the swan dive. I am going to bring my hands in a little bit closer, so they're almost underneath my shoulders this time. And I'm going to let go of them and let my legs rock forward like this. Catch myself and come back up. So play with that a couple of times and see how that feels. Maybe one or two, and then that's plenty. Press up. And press up. And after you've done maybe two or three, just let's press back into a child's pose. And let the back rest. Right ceramic. Beautifully done.
Reach the fingertips forward. Maybe place the forehead on the mat. Take a few breaths here. And then when you're ready, just walk the hands back in towards the knees. Go up through the spine. We're going to go back down to the belly. We're going to do a couple of upper body strengthening things. So come on back down. The first one I call the Iguana, because we're going to look like an iguana. It's so funny. This one woman, she had the side, so she got into the pose and it was like this, right? So it's elbows up and fingers tented. And I said, Laura, you look perfectly like an iguana. At the end of class, she said, I got a star for being the best iguana in class. I could tell my family. So cute. It was like a second grade thing. I loved it. Anyway, so let's see who can be the best iguana today, people. All right, so tented fingers. One of the things about tented fingers is you're working finger strength as well here. Elbows to the ceiling. Tops of the feet pressed down. Lift the kneecaps. Abs are in. So the belly button comes right off the mat. Well, we pretend it does anyway. We try to get it off the mat. Then we press pubic bone down. We're going to press the torso up. So lift up and hold it here. Now reach the arms out. Oh yes, bring the shoulder blades together. And then bring the hands back in. Maybe press up another ½ inch. And then lower down. That's what we're going to do. Let's try that again. So we press up. And right here, bring the shoulder blades together before you even let go. And then reach the arms out. And bring them back in. And lower down. One more time. We press up. Shoulder blades are retracting. Reach the arms out. Bring them in. And lower down. Let's stack the hands. Place the forehead on the hands and glue the forehead to the hands. So we're going to lift the torso this time. I just widened my legs a little bit more, wider than hips. That feels more comfortable to me, whatever's comfortable. So we're going to lift the torso and then sweep the arms back to the thighs. Okay, here we go. So we inhale and we lift everything up. So then sweep the arms all the way back, reach the fingertips for the back wall, and lift the chest just a little higher. Shoulder blades retract. Now bring the arms back to the forehead and lower down. Let's do 2 more of those. We lift the torso. We sweep it back, reach fingertips, the chest, shoulder blades together. And then we sweep back, hands under forehead, lower down. And last one, we lift, we sweep. We sweep back and lower. And again, place hands on your shoulders, press back to child's pose. Maybe knees a lot wider than hips. Hips come down toward heels, fingertips forward. And nice work, guys. All right, we have our last little block of work for the side body. And then one plank, of course. The plank is the bonus. So we'll walk our hands back into the knees. We'll round up through the spine, roll the shoulders back a few times. Roll forward a few times. And then we're going to come to a high kneeling position facing each other. So we'll come to this position. And we'll bring the leg out to the side. Doesn't matter, but you know, why don't you guys mirror me? So bring your, is it your right leg, right? Yeah, just so we're all going in the same direction. Okay, excellent. Let's bring the arms out to airplanes. So we're going to reach up through the crown of the head. We want to be nice and tall here.
And we're going to slide down the wall behind us and just tap and tap the mat. Like yes, with your technique. And come back up and try again. Beautiful. Let's do 2 more there. Oh, hi, Lori. Whoa, you're so neat in. Arms busy. She was. 1 more like this, and then we're going to change the arms. This one, hand on hands behind the head. So we continue. Again, sliding down the wall. Don't let that shoulder rotate. And then use those obliques up. Yes. And you can use the hand too. You can always use that hand. Go down outside my the outside of your thigh is
Really
not.
hurts, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so bring it in. Bring it in. You can do this with wide. And come down. You won't get quite as much, but you'll still get it. Yep. And last one. And let's bring the arms up. And we reach for 4. And maybe don't go down so low. Try just maybe halfway. Is that a little better?
Yeah, I mean, it feels fine now.
Was it cramp?
It was having my arms like this, like.
Okay. And last one. Inhale. And exhale as you come up. Okay, stay here. Bring the arms back down here. Now this hand's going to go down to the mat. The leg stays where it is. Arm goes behind the head. Now make sure you're stacked here. So the wrist is right on your shoulder. And both shoulders are stacked and hips are stacked. Nice straight line. So make sure the shoulder isn't coming forward. You want to stay nice and tall. So the elbow is up at the ceiling. All right, from here, we're going to lift and lower the leg. 6 and 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's lift the leg, elbow to knee. Now we can run forward for 6 and reach and 5 and reach 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it out. We got circles. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go the other way. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it up. Bend the knee for the roundhouse kick. And straight. And 5. And straight. And 4. This is it. And 3. And 2. And 1. And relax. Lie down. Lie down. Okay. I felt both hips. Yes, both hips. Let's do all that on the other side. We won't forget any of them. We'll remember all of them. Okay, come back up. And bring down the couch. So mindful hip. And here we go. Reach. So these are all progressions you've probably noticed. So if you find that you like one better than another, you can always go back to one of the other ones that just feels more comfortable to you. You never have to continue on the progression. This is just to give all sorts of different ideas. And we lower and up. All about the side body here. 2 more. Exhale up. Those abs in. And the last one like that. Lift your ears up. Our reaching fingertips long. And we're going to reach as we come over. Exhale up. And over. These are challenging. You make them look easy. That's great. Nice work. The arms come down. One hand comes to the mat, wrist right on your shoulder. Make sure that leg stays in line with hip and elbows reaching for the ceiling. Let's lift and lower. 4, 6, and 5, and 4. Yep, this is good. 2, hand on hip if you like, and 2, and 1. Now I'm gonna place the hand back on the up behind the head, and we're gonna do elbow to knee for 6,
and reach, and 5, and reach, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring that down just for a second. We'll lift. We're going to do circles for 5, 4, 3, 2. Other way. These are very hard. 4, 3. I'm feeling it. 2, 1. Just the roundhouse kicks. Here we go. 6 and 5. This is it. And 4 and 3 and 2. Last one. Yay, we did it. Bring it down. Oh, yes. Just kind of rock back and forth. Give them a little tap. Let's do a quick mermaid. So we're going to bring both ankles, both feet to that wall. And just sit in a comfortable position. This is just a nice stretch for the hips. So whoever feels comfortable with both legs, over to one side. Place the hand on the ankle. Reach one arm up. We're just going to reach it. It's a very small reach, but it feels good for the hip. And then bring it back and place the forearm on mat and reach long with it. And we'll come back. Reach over. Let's do that again. One more time. Move to the other side. Let's come back to center. Bring the arms in. All right, challenge, switch legs, no hands. All right, hand on ankle. Reach this arm up. And let's reach out. And come down and long. It's time. Come to center. Bring the arms in. One more switch of the legs just to try it. Nice. Bring the arms down. Take a breath. What time is it? Is it time for plank time? Oh, it is plank time. All right. So let's see. Let's do, I'm going to give you the choice, either high plank or forearm plank. We're going to do knee taps and then tap outs with the feet. So if you like forearm, the elbows are going to be under the shoulders. If you like high plank, the wrists are under the shoulders. Whatever you like. We'll start, everybody starts in all fours. So the knees are right under hips. And then if you like the forearms, go ahead and come down to the forearms. You can make fists or plant the palms on the mat, just making sure those elbows are right under your shoulders. If we're going high, the wrists are on your shoulders. We spread the fingertips wide and make sure the wrist creases are parallel to the mat. Let's step the right foot back and the left foot back. So for all of us, take a quick peek down and see if your heels are right over your toes. And I'm going to take a quick peek around and just see. So Larry, you can come forward a little bit so your heels come a little bit more forward. Laura, you can come a little more forward too. Yeah, there you go. Good. Good. Good, Liz. Good, Olivia. Yeah, good. Okay, so that's where you want to be. So we are going to alternate the knee taps. So the right knee is going to tap. The pelvis doesn't move. And left. And it barely taps, right? It just kisses the mat. And the abs have to really hold themselves in as that knee taps down and up. And if we're in a high plank, take a peek at your elbows, make sure they're not locked out. You have a softness in them. And tap. And left taps. Left and right. Last one on the left. Now we'll do the tap of the toe out. So the right toe taps out. And the left taps out. And the left taps out. And right. And right. Left. Last one on the right. Last one on the left. Hold it here. We're done, guys. So now we're going to lift the hips up. Keep the heels lifted and lift the hips up to the ceiling. Now, my tailbone is rounded at this point. I'm going to lower my heels to the mat as much as I can and tip the tailbone up toward the ceiling. It should create a nice stretch. Do a little back. Fingertips reach forward. Stretch. The shoulders look down at your ankles. Let's lift the heels one more time. You can round the tail if you like. Stretching the feet. And then once again, heels toward the mat, tailbone toward the ceiling. Oh, yes. And let's walk this time our feet toward our hands with as straight a leg as we can. So try not to bend the knees. This is an elephant walk. Little tiny baby steps until you can't go anymore. And then soften the knees. Bend them. Palms are on the mat. Inhale. Exhale, straight. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. See if you can place your hands behind your legs and pull your torso into the knees. Inhale, bend. One more like that. Exhale. Straighten. Really trying to stretch those hamstrings. And we'll roll it up. Inhale, bend. Exhale, round out. Shoulders are heavy. Arms are heavy. Head floats up at the last minute. And we'll face each other. We'll take our 3 breaths to end. And let you get on with your day. Let's come to a Pilates stance. Heels together, toes slightly apart, pressing the heels in and the inner thighs. Inhale up. Let's reach out of the waist, baby back bend. And we'll exhale, bring the arms down. Let's do another big breath. Inhale. And reach it back. Cross the hips forward. And exhale down. One more. We'll bring hands to heart center this time. Inhale. And reach it back. And exhale, hands to heart center. Thank you, my friends, for coming. Always wonderful to have you and spend an hour with you. Thank you so much. We'll go on with our day and be taller and better. Let me do that. All right, we worked all the basics, guys. Yeah, great. Nice work. Next time, if you want to try your no shoe on.
So I didn't know if I was allowed. These shoes are not comfortable, but I didn't know what the barefoot policy is here.
Yeah, apparently once you're on your mat, it's totally fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it can be socks too. So and it's totally up to you. I used to do either way. 'Cause with the shoes, you have more weight on your feet, so you're working a little harder, right? It's almost like you have ankle weights. But with the shoes off, you can articulate the foot, right? So you get more of that.
natural movement.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it works the feet, which we don't.
You're welcome.
It works the feet, which we don't get to do all day long because we're wearing shoes.
Yeah.
So it's totally, your call what you want to do. But those are the pros and the cons.
Okay, great. Yeah, thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Glad you came. You are welcome. Nice work, Larry. Good work.
Really good.
Awesome job. Yeah.
How's it going?
What are you doing? Videotaping? Taking pictures?
I should have.
Good too. They're lean. I don't know about lean, but
Should have spoke.
Really? You must know what she's doing only 30 minutes. She makes rest of the great.
Oh, I'm talking about the, full body fitness.
Oh, yeah, I did. I like that.
Which class is that? Who's used that? Her?
No, we talked about who's in the other. Yeah, I will come feel a lot of parts of my body.
Hey, Andy, if I put the camera right here, is it going to be in your way? Sounds good. Sounds good.
So Andy,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm supposed to be in a meeting today at 9 o'clock, and I lied and said I had a very important meeting.
So
So I'm gonna run out of here.
I'm in a good mood, so hopefully we'll have a good class.
I lied just so I didn't have to miss your
That
class.
makes all the difference. It makes you want to work harder.
This is an important meeting.
This isn't a meeting, so you don't kill your
This
family.
thing is not.
You don't come to this meeting, you may kill your family. Listen, how I feel.
It's an appointment, even though it's not a meeting.
Yes.
I want to do it.
Yeah. I got it down there. All right. Good. Yeah.
Crap. This thing used to be able to find it like right away.
Everything's a piece of crap.
Well, I know it's got some good money. It's got good volume. It's just a good job.
Do we need